Where were you for the Luke Kornet game? Where were you when Luke Kornet saved the Celtics season and saved their back-to-back title hopes against his former team? I mean, a very obviously necessary win for the Celtics last night, but what an emotional lift. Okay, they extend the series. It's going back to Madison Square Garden, the lesser of the two gardens, for Game 6 and a 3-2 series edge still on the Knicks side of things. But the Celtics showed some fight last night. Maybe it was the dead cat bounce. If you've ever played Kitten Cannon, you know, right? There's always a dead cat bounce. And when your star player is out, that there is still something that kind of gives you a lift. In this game, Jaylen Brown stepped up, by the way. I still don't think he's that guy for an entire season, but 26 points on 9 of 17. He hits 3 threes. He's plus 28 for the game. Like that was a good leading performance by Jaylen Brown. But the other two guys that stand out, of course, are Luke Kornet and Derrick White. Luke Kornet, my God. I mean, how on earth is Joe Mazzulla going to roll out a starting lineup in Game 6 with the season on the line again that has Kristaps Porzingis in it and not Luke Kornet? This was a guy who was untouchable in the postseason last year. Could not play him in the playoffs. They wouldn't do it. If he was the last man on earth, they weren't going to play him in that NBA Finals. Got more of a role in the regular season this year and earned his time. And I think is a good matchup against the Knicks. Because he's more mobile than Porzingis at this point. And he showed you a big reason why he's still got a role in the NBA for an NBA championship team. 10 points, 5 of 5. That's pretty damn efficient. 9 rebounds, 7 blocks, 7 blocked shots for Luke Kornet. And this sick no-look alley-oop dunk. No-look dunk off an alley-oop. He killed the Knicks last night, like absolutely crushed their will in the third quarter. They were down at halftime, the Celtics were, and they end up winning the game by 25 points via a 32-17 third quarter. Finally, they don't completely shit themselves in the third quarter. It's like the first time this series that's happened. Even in Game 3, they let it get really hairy in the third quarter when they had the lead most of that game. But Luke Kornet was the injection, man. He was the reason why. What an awesome step-up performance for a guy that stay ready team. He's been staying ready. Luke Kornet against his former team, by the way, the New York Knicks. That was fantastic. But Derrick White, your leading scorer on the game, either team, Derrick White had it going. And this was one of those games where, look, I love Derrick White. I love him. He might be my favorite Celtic just because he does, of course, so many little things right. He's one of the great heists in Celtics history, a franchise that has made the most of some pretty lopsided trades. But this one is up there for Brad Stevens. I would say that. And Derrick White had it absolutely going in this game. 34 points. Second time in this series, he's gone over 30. Second time in this postseason, he's gone over 30. He was a plus 26. 7 of 13 from 3. That'll play. And it was early for Derrick White too, man. The score was like 10-7. And the Celtics get a block or a steal. And Derrick White just walks into this 3 like 6 feet behind the three-point arc. And it just like tickles the twine, doesn't even hit any rim. And you're like, oh my God, like this dude, he's got it today. Like that was this is my game kind of a 3. So you get that from one of your role players like Derrick White, and you get that from Luke Kornet from one of your bench players, whether it's Kornet or Peyton Pritchard or one of those guys. Sam Hauser can have a game like that where he can come in, give you double digits off the bench, and just give you a spark in an important part of the game. Then the Celtics could possibly win this series. I've got it at a slim chance still, but that makes it possible. All right. And by the way, 2 guys off the bench had that. Kornet obviously had the big burst, but Peyton Pritchard was a plus 24 with 17 points and 5 3-pointers made. So, you got 2 of those off the bench. Holiday, my man Drew Holiday stepped up big time. But it's going to take a lot. Like, a lot went right for the Celtics in this game. They shot 45% from three. The Knicks actually did shoot well from three as well. They shot 40%. Jalen Brunson fouled out with like 9 minutes left in this game. Like, it's crazy. You don't usually see that in the NBA. Cat stunk. I thought Cat absolutely stunk in this game. And Brunson wasn't much better. He's still 7-17. Josh Hart gave them their best game of the series, and they lost. He's bleeding, dripping blood, gave him 24 points. They have nothing off the bench. Deuce McBride hit a couple of threes in this game early, but they get nothing off the bench. And OG Anunoby's was a problem for the Celtics early in the series. Nothing in this game. Made one shot in the whole game, one field goal the whole game. Mikal Bridges killed the Celtics in this series. He was back to being Mikal Bridges. Nothing. 4 of 14, 1 of 3, 9 points. Congrats. Wonder where that defense was on him earlier in the series. But I got to get back to the center position for the Celtics. Kristaps Porzingis, man. I don't know what the illness is. I'm trying to be sympathetic here. Joe Mazzulla said he couldn't breathe during the game. I don't know what the friggin' illness is, but you can't play this guy anymore. He's killing you. He can't play right now. He can't do it. And this guy Turn from Twitter made the best point of the night on a shit post. Derek, Drew, Al, Jalen, Peyton, Sam, and Luke are sort of like Tom Hanks in Saving Private Ryan, rallying together to avenge their fallen comrade, trying to win the game for Tatum. And Porzingis is sort of like Tom Hanks in Philadelphia, dying of AIDS. That's what it looks like out there, man. Like, the dude just cannot move. He's an absolute liability. I know he's trying his best and everything, but this is the NBA and this is the playoffs. You can't play the guy anymore. I'm sorry. You roll with Luke Kornet. And look, if the Knicks make an adjustment on Kornet, he's probably not going to have another game like this. And if the Knicks make the adjustment on Kornet, you just kind of tip the cap. But you're essentially down 2 starters right now. Tatum is not coming back, and Porzingis cannot come back. I just don't know how he could. He's so brutal. And I know Kornet was one of those guys you didn't trust in a playoff game last year, but I would play Neemias Queta over Porzingis at this point. And that's not hyperbole. That's not a joke. He's got to be giving you at least what Porzingis gives you, if not more. There was only one minus player for the Celtics in the entire game. They won by 25 points, and Porzingis still found a way to be a minus. Not a -1, not a -3, a -12. And sometimes the plus-minus stats can lie. This one does not. The Knicks hunt him. The guards do, the bigs do, and they have no problem with Kristaps Porzingis. Brutal. -12 in a game that you win by 25 points. That cannot be acceptable. It can't be. So do they have a chance? They're going to roll the basketballs out there on Friday, tomorrow. And it's going to be a big time event. It's going to be one of the biggest games in the history of Madison Square Garden for the Knicks, which is really saying something. It's been 26 years since they've been to the conference finals. Timothy Chalamet will be there. I got to give him credit. He actually went down to Boston. None of those other celebrity row pussies for the Knicks would do that. Ben Stiller doesn't do that. Jack Nicholson and Timothy Chalamet, they're the only 2 guys who would do it. Only 2. And so it's obviously the stars are going to be out. It's going to be $1,400 just to get into the building and sit in the balcony, which is about half the price that they would pay in rent in New York for a studio apartment. That's about the size of, 2 or 3 of those seats in the balcony, but it'll be packed out. There'll be a great atmosphere. That's what happens for a fan base that hasn't had anything real to cheer for in an entire generation, in a quarter century. I get it. Celtics fans, probably getting a little too mum to the moment. They go to the finals a lot. They're in the Eastern Conference Finals all the time. But this is going to be one of the most pivotal games in New York Knicks history. I don't expect them to take this lightly. I don't expect them to lay an egg. But by that same token, I don't think they laid an egg in this game. I think you got to give the Celtics some real credit in game 5. Again, they were down at halftime. The Knicks were not, it's not like one of those where like the Celtics in game 4 in Dallas last year, for example, in the finals, where they just didn't come out to play in game 4. And they were like, yeah, we'll just win it at home. Like the Knicks came out to play in this one. The Knicks gave them a real shot here. Again, they shot well from 3. Brunson wasn't terrible. And Josh Hart, role player, although a starter, gave them their best game of the series. And they came up short, came up well short in the end. Luke Kornet is the guy that shuts them down, and Derrick White has a big-time game. As much as I love D. White, he doesn't usually do it 2 games in a row in the postseason. We'll see. Can they get it back to a Game 7 on Sunday? They sure as shit can. Will they? I don't know if I'd bet on it. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Will we have a Game 7 to be breaking down on Monday's episode of The Cam Show? Let me know down in the comment section below what needs to go right for the Celtics to get back to a Game 7 in Boston. Let me know in the comments. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you think the Knicks are going to choke, and check out the other videos on the channel. We're live on YouTube 5 days a week, and then wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Cam Stewart, your host. Zach Burke keeps us on the air every day.